can formulate a team that's going to be better on the ice and could potentially make it beyond the first round of the playoffs.
How about he uses some of that money he just saved to find himself a real number one goalie? Because I can tell you right now, Tristan Jarry isn't it.
All right, let's go out to Gary in McKees Rocks. How you doing, Gary?
Good. How you doing tonight?
Good. Thanks for calling.
Great show. Yeah, I was just wondering, how did Seattle come up with their nickname like the Kraken? Is that something based in Seattle, or it just seems like a weird name for a hockey team?
Well, it's a mythical, what is it, a mythical sea creature, Chris.
I think they, how did they come up with it? I think they took like a vote of the best names. I think a bunch of people submitted names, and then I think they kind of voted it down and then kind of made their decision. I mean, who cares? It's at least it's not a name that ends in S, right? We have enough of those plural names. I'm fine with them having taken a chance on this one. What else could they have done? Supersonics? No, that's a slap in the face to the basketball fans in Seattle, and that's a pretty good basketball city. The Space Needles? What else are we doing? What else do we have? Seriously?
Yeah.
The Sasquatch? The Kraken's fine.
The name doesn't bother me. I thought it was weird at first because it was different.
The Penguins are named after a flightless bird that wobbles around in Antarctica. I mean,
but this
come on,
is a mythical
like
creature. I mean, it isn't even real. It's not even real. I guess, but some teams are named that aren't real anyways either. So
the catfish? I don't know. The walleye? The Seattle
fish?
Coffee?
The Seattle fish?
I don't know.
All right, let's go out to another Gary. Gary out in West Elizabeth. How you doing, Gary?
Yeah, Rich, Chris. I was wondering why you guys know why camp's not at Latrobe this year. Is that a done deal, or is that a year-to-year thing? And who makes them decisions?
Well, the NFL made the decision this year, and it was just because of COVID and the pandemic. They turned in a plan, and it was turned down by the NFL. So they're just doing camp at the south side here the first week, then going to Heinz Field. But, I mean, Chris, I would imagine the Steelers love going to St. Vincent. They've been there for, 50-some years now. I guarantee you they go back next year if allowed.
I would love to get truth serum into all the players and coaches and find out among that body of people who likes being at St. Vincent and who doesn't. I have a feeling I know which way the split would go. But I think it does mean something to the Steelers, namely to Art Rooney II. I mean, it means a lot to the owner to be out there. I think that matters to him. And so I think as soon as they are able to go, whether COVID kind of finally goes away or they submit a plan maybe next year that the NFL likes and approves, I think they're going to be back there because I do think it means a lot to the franchise and to the owner of the franchise more than anybody.
Yeah, I would hope we're going to be back to normal next year, that we'll be close. I would hope we'll be back to normal, that they'll be going back to St. Vincent. And I can tell you, Chris, for a fact that I would say about 90% of those players do not want to go to St. Vincent, that they like it this way better. All right, let's go out to Mike in Carnegie.
Yeah.
How you doing, Mike?
Hey, good, buddy. How you guys?
Good. Thanks for calling.
Hey, I was curious. How do you think Big Ben feels about getting a new Ingram, the new running back?
He plays linebacker.
I think he was talking about Najee Harris. I mean, if he's talking about Najee Harris, I think he likes it. I mean, finally they have a running game. I don't know if they're going to run the ball a lot because they got a ton of weapons that he could throw to, and I don't know how much time he's going to have back there. So, but I think it takes a little bit of pressure off. Plus, Najee Harris is a pretty good running back out of the backfield. He can catch, too. So if you're asking about the running back, I think that Ben loves this pick.
I mean, Melvin Ingram's a pretty versatile player, but I don't think he can play running back, so I'm assuming he did mean Najee Harris. I don't know. You draft a running back in the first round, I expect that guy to be used heavily. I mean, I don't think it's good enough that they say, oh, he's going to get a lot of passes out of the backfield or he's great in pass protection. You hand him the ball and try to run the ball. One of the things we've heard consistently about this new offensive line that's essentially going to have 5 new starters is they might be inexperienced, there might be some growing pains, but the one thing these guys are better equipped to do than last year's line, I've heard almost everybody uniformly say, is push people back off the football. Run blocking can be very technical and can be very artful. You watch Alan Faneca, David Castro pulling all these years, I could understand how you'd feel that way. A lot of the time it's just being stronger, meaner, and nastier and grittier than the guy you're trying to block and move off his spot. So if that's what these guys are built to do, then you better start doing it. It's, to me, one of the things that is going to happen this year, if Ben Roethlisberger ends up throwing the ball over the lot and people say, well, he's been around for 18 years. Come on, this might be their best option. No. You draft the running back in the first round, it is inexcusable if you don't utilize him heavily in your offense. And that includes handing him the ball.
You know, a lot of people are talking about Ben's picture today, the picture that the Steelers posted. What do you make of it? I mean, this is the way Ben looks all the time. I know we heard that report out there. I think you guys are the ones that did the interview with the reporter that got leaked information that he's on a diet better than Tom Brady. Doesn't look like it, but, I mean, I don't expect Ben to come in looking like Tom Brady. This is Ben. I don't have a problem with it.
Yep. We did do the interview with that reporter. I browbeat him as to how ridiculous what he was claiming from Ben's camp sounded. I mean, he looked, first of all, it is absurd to me that the Steelers allowed that first picture to go out from their official feed. If they had taken one of the further away shots of Roethlisberger, it was a lot more flattering to him. But yes, the point here is that he looks the exact same as he always looks. And one of the things that kind of gets me is to lose the amount of weight we were hearing he was losing and, best shape of his life. Ben Roethlisberger would have had to do a lot of cardio. Diet alone doesn't just shed the pounds, you know what I mean? And so when I think about how bad his knees are, and I think about how hard it probably would have been for him to do the things he would have needed to do to lose that kind of weight, then I wonder what he's physically going to be capable of mobility-wise on the field this year. I think that's kind of the line from point A to point B that I draw that makes me a little leery. Are this guy's knees so shot that he couldn't do anything extracurricular to get into even better shape?
You know, I went to a lot of OTAs and minicamp this year, and I remember hearing that interview and hearing that report. And I don't know if it was you or Pony that was on the show, but I said I didn't see him look any different than he did in years past. And this picture proves it.
He looks the same every time. Whoever leaked the story to the reporter that got talked about on our show and everywhere else did Ben a complete disservice. That's what I think. Whoever leaked that story and tried to make it seem like Ben Roethlisberger had taken some sort of insane approach to fitness in his 18th year in the league made him look really bad, because when he showed up today, it was very blatantly obvious that he was doing business as usual, which wouldn't have been a big deal if somebody hadn't tried to claim that he was now Jack LaLanne in the offseason.
Yeah. All right, now we'll go to our Tri-State Office Furniture tweet of the day. Check out this picture, Chris. This is what you're missing. This is what the Penguins lose right there. The new face of the Kraken, Brandon Tanev. This is from the NHL. Back in a couple minutes.
You should never be allowed to do a new headshot.
I know, it's tremendous.
Ever.
Love it.
Ever.
Love it.